and Information Technology, Government of India. The Honorable Minister has already joined us here at the venue and is due to join us any moment now inside the hall. So may I once again request you all to please kindly take your seats. And please do remember to either switch off the cell phone or put it on silent mode. This session is entitled Bridging the Digital Divide, Building an Inclusive Digital Democracy and Economy. On the agenda, what new policy and regulatory measures are required to promote digital democracy, governance, and enterprise? What technology and business model innovations are required to include all Indians in the digital economy? How can the government regulate the digital economy without distorting the market? So, ladies and gentlemen, we are all set for a very interesting session. May I request you all to please kindly be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome on stage the Honorable Minister, Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, Minister of Communications and Information Technology, Government of India. I take the pleasure of welcoming Dr. Prathap C. Reddy, Founder, Chairman, Apollo Hospitals Group, Mr. Sanjiv Goenka, Conclave Chairman and Chairman, RP-Sanjiv Goenka Group, Mr. H.M. Nerurkar, President AIMA and Chairman, TRL Krosaki Refractories Limited, and Mr. Richard Recchi, Chief Executive Officer, KPMG in India. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome them with a round of applause. May I now invite Mr. Sanjiv Goenka, Conclave Chairman and Chairman, RP-Sanjiv Goenka Group, to deliver the welcome address and initiate the session.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to this session. It's very special. Special because of the people we have present. Honorable Minister, Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, Minister for Law and Justice, Communications and Information Technology. An extremely efficient, successful, dynamic, performance-oriented minister who has changed the paradigm of working in these two ministries. He's brought speed, transparency, vision, clarity, and extreme efficiency to both the ministries he heads.
Now I'm only heading one.
Formerly Law and Justice. When you see the Spectrum auctions and you see the success of the Spectrum auctions, you see the man behind it. A man who leads by example. A man who inspires. A man who honors us by his presence here today. Thank you, sir. Dr. Prathap Reddy, the chairman of the Apollo Hospitals Group. He has defined himself by his vision and his many, many, many actions. Richard, Hemant, thank you both. Digital divide has become an important issue and becomes even more so as the Indian economy modernizes, as it adopts new technologies for doing businesses, and adopts new technology for consuming products and services. Information and communication technologies are the keys to the future growth of the Indian economy. They transform the way we work, they transform the way we live. There is a boom in online retail. Indian startups are getting flooded with global investments. The digitization of our economy has unleashed a new challenge, a new wave of entrepreneurial and innovative energies. The mobile phone has given us an opportunity to connect the entire country in an economic and social network and create a true national market. We are privileged to have with us a man who's shaping this destiny, this wireless destiny, this destiny which will determine our future. Today we also confer a very special award to a very special person, the Lifetime Achievement Award on Dr. Prathap Reddy, Chairman, Apollo Hospitals Group, for his path-breaking leadership of the healthcare industry. It's my privilege to read the citation of his award. A renowned cardiologist and a visionary entrepreneur, he is the pioneer of corporatizing healthcare industry in India. He created a business model in healthcare that has become the benchmark for many others. He also instituted India's healthcare tourism industry by making the country a global destination for world-class healthcare. A professional turned promoter, he has built one of the largest healthcare groups in Asia, comprising 56 hospitals, 1,500 pharmacies, and more than 100 diagnostic centers. He has also created a chain of hospitals in the second-tier towns so that not everybody has to come to big cities for high-quality treatment. Today, the group includes 15 academic institutions and a research foundation that works in the areas of clinical trials, stem cell, and genetic research. An outstanding innovator, he pioneered the daily insurance scheme for villagers. Many governments and organizations are adapting that insurance model to ensure healthcare availability to the poorest. Harnessing the potential of technology, Dr. Reddy pioneered the conception of telemedicine network of 125 centers across 7 countries. Recognizing that the battle against cardiac diseases had to go beyond hospitals, Dr. Reddy envisioned the Billion Hearts Beating campaign, an endeavor that deploys innovative mediums to encourage Indians to stay heart healthy. Dr. Prathap Reddy was conferred the Padma Vibhushan from the Government of India, an acknowledgement of his untiring pursuit for excellence in healthcare. The All India Management Association is pleased to confer the AIMA Lifetime Achievement Award on Dr. Prathap C. Reddy, founder and chairman, the Apollo Hospitals Group. May I request the Honorable Minister to present this award to Dr. Reddy.
Namaste. Honorable Minister for Telecommunications and Information Technology, Sri Ravi Shankar Prasad ji, and the AIMA. Whatever Sanjiv said now, I say thank you, Sanjiv, for what you have mentioned about what I have done. What I have done is to take people along with me. And if I have received this award from the Honorable Minister, I share this not only with the 80,000 Apollo family members, but with the over 50 million patients who have been saying, I'm happy there is a hospital, and there are such hospitals in our country. I thank the Honorable Minister for giving me this award. I'm very happy to have met him for the second time. The Honorable Health Minister released a stamp on Apollo for being #1 in the world in solid organ transplants, in kidney heart and liver transplant. We became world number 1, and in that connection, we were so honored to receive a stamp from the Honorable Minister at the time. First, I must say, apart from the large Apollo family, I'm first grateful to my parents. I come from a small village in Andhra called Aragonda in Chittoor district, where you all know Balaji is in that district. But I come from that village, and I'm very happy that my parents gave me this an opportunity to become a doctor, then send me to UK, send me to US. But this is all fine. I was fortunate to work in some of the fine institutions in US. I met the Berkeley professor here. I was at the Master General Harvard Institute. But one of those days, my parents wrote a letter to me saying, every time you send a letter, and I used to send some pictures with my children, they wrote back and saying, there are 2 people who enjoy this. But if you can do something for people back home, how will that be? They didn't ask me to come back. My wife and me agreed to come back. And here I have Preeta and I have 3 sisters. They all were in no age to protest. And we came back to India. I started my practice as a cardiologist. But I think the eventful thing happened because at that time, as a cardiologist, if somebody needed heart surgery, there was no acceptable program. I used to send them abroad. In 1979, I lost an young man, who was only 38-year-old, leaving behind a 31-year-old wife, 4-year-old daughter, and 2-year-old son. Absolutely shattered. You know why? Because they couldn't raise $50,000 for him to go to Houston to have surgery with Dr. Denton Cooley, who is my guru. And that's what I said, how many more are going to die because they can't raise $50,000? If Indian doctors and Indian scientists are par excellence, why couldn't we do this back home? So that was the vision. Our vision then was to bring that level of care for our people. I thank hundreds of people in the government and well-wishers who made that vision come true. It was not easy. I must have made at least 50 pilgrimages to Chennai and Mumbai before that came true. What's happened is today, people in India, not just Apollo, all of the hospitals are doing whatever is happening anywhere in the world with the same level of care. And what's more important is we're able to give them greater compassion, care, commitment, but at a fraction of their cost. This is where I think it makes me very, very happy that we have changed the healthcare scenario in our country. But if, as Honorable Minister has a desire that this care should go to the villages. In my village, we have a telemedicine connectivity. When the then President of the United States and when Bill Clinton came, he connected my village to all Apollo hospitals. We have over 150 to 200 connectivities within the country and overseas. But more importantly, I admire the vision of the minister to connect the villages. I believe we are already in the process of connecting more than 150 villages so that they could get an access to healthcare to this system. So I think this is a thing which is progressing and need to happen so that 3 things that are in health. First is the quality. Second is the cost. These 2 we have conquered. The third is the accessibility. This is where I think today's discussions by AIMA, from several of the dialogues that have been taking place, is to see how do you get the access to the people. And I think the healthcare today is ready to reach people. We have started what's called the reach hospitals, but more importantly, several of these smaller towns, smaller villages need the healthcare. There is another significant challenge, Honorable Minister, that India is now facing. We have unfortunately had the dubious distinction of becoming the diabetic capital of the world, heart capital of the world, cancer capital of the world, and infections have become a serious threat. Even if we do more, build more hospitals, create more healthcare workforce, I think we still is going to be a huge problem for the nation. The simple answer for this is, we believe the individual must own for his health. We have started a program saying, let's believe that life is priceless. If I ask some of you, what's the price of your life, most of them say, I'm priceless or I'm precious. But there is a price. And this price is not fixed by me. There was a professor from Yale University. He said our brain has got 550 billion neurons. Our eyes have got so many millions and trillions of receptors. I went on, as a cardiologist, an adult heart pumps every single day 40 miles of the blood vessels. Imagine this pump, pumping from birth to the last breath. So he put a price for all of these and then came up with a price. Can you all guess? It is $6,000 trillion. You know why I'm saying this? Just to make you think, I'm a believer in God. If God has given us this creation, or if you don't believe in God, if the Creator has given this creation, it is up to us to look after this. This is where I think it's very necessary that life is priceless. Should we carry on saying that we can make a very significant impact on the health of the nation if we participate instead of just the government or the healthcare people working for the better health of all people. So this is my earnest thing not from just Apollo. I think the entire healthcare and AIMA, all of the organizations will now work towards that goal of making the individual responsible. We prepared a paper, 4 papers, to see how to tackle this big, huge problem. The first thing is public-private people's participation. The 4th P we added. I think there are so many people, all of us say, yes, I would like to have a test, but I'm afraid that these doctors will find out something. It's good if they find out at that time, no? There are so many people who say, Honorable Minister, that Apollo is expensive. You know why? They come to us for a diagnosis. We do have to do a diagnosis. We have to do surgery. We have to give radiation, chemotherapy, and even a bone marrow transplantation. Instead of that, if they come early to a hospital, not just Apollo, any hospital, if they go early in stage 1, stage 2, they will probably get a robotic surgery and go back home next day and lead a normal life. I think that is the difference, in our people realizing, saying, I have this very valuable creation, I must look after it. I'll end by saying, my daughter is here. My grandson the other day was having dinner with me. His little dog was sneezing, and suddenly he said, Grandpa, I must take this to the vet to have a checkup. How many of you, when you have a little problem, get a checkup done? Please do it. I think it will make a very significant impact, because what our government is trying to say is, how do we take the nation to that level, to say that India is proud to have a great nation. But what we all want to look saying, a great nation and with a people who are very healthy. So life is priceless, live healthy India is the process that we are taking. We'll all work towards it, and I think each one of us have a role for themselves to keep well. Again, I'm very grateful to AIMA and for me to give this award. I hope I'll rededicate this award saying, we will work with you to bring this awareness, saying that you have a great creation. You not only need to keep this healthy, you can make it, sometimes you say, I'm a human, I have done this. If you realize you have this great creation, I'm sure you'll do many, many more things, which is good for us and great for the nation. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Reddy. That was very inspiring. And now, ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you a man who redefines efficiency every day. He sets new standards for himself and for the ministry he heads, Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad.
my good friend Sanjiv Goenka, Dr. Reddy, Hemant Richard, ladies and gentlemen. It's a very busy day today. The parliament is going on. But Sanjiv commanded me that I have to come. He has spoken little more than required for me because he's a good friend for the last many years and one of the rare industrialists from a big industrial family who continue to help the country grow in his own way, for which also he deserves our respect. Dr. Reddy, congratulations for richly deserved, outstanding person, or how should I describe you? You're already an icon of the country for the last so many years. Continue to get engaged in making our healthcare more modern and more accessible. Well, ladies and gentlemen, when I asked what I'm supposed to speak, they said it is a leadership program, and I'm supposed to talk about digital democracy. I was a little surprised. Leadership program is the preserve of the politicians. Now, if the management people are also started interfering in that, we will have to think twice while coming here. Secondly, on democracy also, we think we have all copyright. But good,